Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I really wanted to say something to everybody on my channel. Hopefully you're not disappointed by this conversation. But I'm not going to put any videos of these lefties trashing Charlie Kirk on my channel. I'm not going to do reaction videos to try to get clicks. I don't want to be no part of it. It's aggravating. It makes me angry to see it. I think these people need to be held accountable one way or another. I see a lot of them are getting fired. That's kind of entertaining. But the truth be known, I don't want to look at it anymore, and I don't want to promote it. I don't want to incite anger or violence from it for anybody from anybody. I just can't promote it anymore. Like I'll tell you a little bit about. There's a guy named Destiny. I don't know if you know who he is or not. He's a left wing crazy, kind of like the Young Turks. Just got a big channel, lefty gamer, talks real fast. The guy had made some comments to the fact that if you scare people from coming to events by doing away with them, then maybe that's the answer, is to break up the crowd, break up the movement. And that's as much as I'll give you on that. If y'all want to go check out that video by Destiny, he was on Pierce Morgan's show, and Jack Posobiec was on there. And it was a pretty heated event, but it boils down to this guy has made many comments to incite violence, and he is a podcaster that seems to be getting away with it everywhere. I don't know how he gets away with it on anywhere, any platform, for the things he says. He's just, conservatives couldn't talk like that and get away with it. That's just the fact. That's the way the rules work. But we don't want to be like that either. So I decided, just watching that video, watching compilation videos of all these people that are just crazy, that have lost their mind, that I see that there are so many people that probably don't know who Charlie Kirk is, but they want to be famous, so they're going to get on TikTok and hate Charlie Kirk. Or maybe they really hate Charlie Kirk because they didn't agree with the Bible, or the fact that he put it in people's face that sin is wrong, and so many things that the youth are not trying to hear for the most part, and that's the truth. But I think there's something bigger going on in our country where they're trying to rot the brains of our youth, whether it be through pharmaceuticals, street drugs, from the cartel, the indoctrination, this warping, pushing this transgender ideology on us, these hate groups that just seem to show up willy-nilly. It just seems like there is a direction this country is being pushed in, and especially the youth, and Charlie Kirk was aware of that, and so that's why he made it his mission to try to save the college kids. And it took me a while to actually understand that. The more I watched videos of Charlie Kirk this week versus videos of these clowns trashing Charlie Kirk, it just seemed like it was a better answer. I just want to let y'all know I'm not going to be bringing you any videos on this channel for clicks involving these assholes that say ungodly things about a man's passing and his family and incite violence. I don't want to be any part of it in any kind of way, so sorry if that offends you. I guess you'll have to find those videos on another channel, but I can't do it. Sorry, folks. Or, not sorry, should I say. But I will tell you about what's going on in the news involving Charlie Kirk and several other things that need to be said, need to be broke down. Matter of fact, Charlie Kirk's assassin was in court today, and actually just showed up in court just minutes ago. But he's been charged with seven crimes, and the death penalty is being sought. It is on the table. That's what they're looking to do. They're even talking about the firing squad, which has been used in Utah several times before. And I ain't mad at it. Come on with it. It says aggravated murder, capital offense, felony reckless discharge of a firearm causing bodily injury, felony obstruction of justice for hiding the firearm, felony obstruction of justice for discarding the clothing he wore during the shooting, 5, witness tampering for asking the roommate to delete the messages, the incriminating messages, witness tampering for the demanding of the trans roommate to be silent and not speak to the police, and seventh count, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child. And that's the toughest one right there, as far as I'm concerned. That was just to think his Charlie Kirk's daughter was in the front row watching that stuff and tried to run to her dad when he got shot because she didn't know where the sound came from. She just knew she was scared, and the first thought was to run to dad. When I heard that, when I seen that video clip, I was like, Jesus, this is for anybody that has got anything negative to say about Charlie. F you and get off my channel if that's how you feel. If you're just a hater kind of troll and you for some reason choose to listen to my channel, you need to go find another channel. But for the most part, I know every person that listens to my channel is a loving person, whether you're a Christian or not, just wants the best for our country and wants the innocent not to become victims. That's what we all want, folks. All of us sane people that are left. I didn't realize there were so many crazy people in this world until this happened, folks. It's actually pretty shocking. Kind of blows my mind. Now, here is the Utah governor discussing the whole shebang.
One of our most sacred and cherished American rights, the bedrock of our democratic republic, the free exchange of ideas in a search for truth, understanding, and a more perfect union. It is also an offense against the state and to the peace and enjoyment of the people of Utah and of all those who visit here. But Charlie Kirk's murder also strikes a more personal and intimate chord. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a father to two beautiful young children. He was a son, he was a brother, and a friend. Like all murders, the senseless and needless taking of Charlie Kirk's life has shattered the lives of those he loved and those who loved him.
No doubt about it. We'll play a little more of it.
Decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
Good.
Turning to the 10-page.
That's what I wanted to hear. Death penalty, firing squad. Sounds right to me. Just my opinion, folks. I'm not here to incite violence. I want justice. That's different. That is totally different. Let the law handle it, then God will handle it. Kid Rock even weighed in on the whole situation, and he feels how I feel. I mean, it's the media's fault. I blame the media. I blame all these woke people that have become professors and warped our schools and trained people to warp our children as well. This is evil. I blame. This is evil going on behind the scenes, folks. And when something tragic happens, we start to see how sociopathic some of these people really are. It's just shocking. Some of the comments I've read.
I've said it, and I'll say it again because I think it needs to be echoed until they get it through their fat skulls. The mainstream media is frickin' public enemy number one right now. Just the clips you just ran of these people from the New York Times and these other nut houses they call media establishments. It's absolutely frickin' ridiculous. I mean, and then they say to Charlie Kirk, God bless him, by the way, his wife, kids. That, he's inciting this, he's inciting that. I'm someone who understands better than anyone as being a very vocal Trump supporter from day one. They've called me a racist Nazi for years now. I mean, go look up a few facts about my life.
And I stopped it there because I wanted to bring up the word Nazi. There's a reason they chose Nazi. Out of all the villains you could be in this world, all the horrible names they could throw at you, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, blah, blah. They tried to call Nazi, the Republic, and the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, Nazis, for a reason. The reason is, if you vilify something so bad, like Hitler had to be taken out. That's how everybody in America felt 60 years ago, 80 years ago. That's how everybody in America feels today. And so when you think of a really, really awful bad character that we, by any means necessary, we got to go fix that problem, well, that's how they want the world to see Trump and us as the problem. They're the victim. We're the evildoers that need to be vanquished or murdered or by any means necessary. And that's the bottom line. By any means necessary. That's why they chose threat to democracy. That's why they chose fascist. That's why they chose Nazi. These terms are to incite emotions in people, to try to trigger them, to keep them on their team more than anything. And the right does it too. The right does it too, absolutely. I try not to, but sometimes you just go with it. But yeah, I try not to be insightful. It's tribalism is what it is, folks, and we all know it. And when they're killing people on our side, I guess tribalism is what it is. But I just want to call it out and just tell everybody, please don't get sucked up into it too far. Don't let this crazy world get you more involved than is necessary at this point. But at the same time, do all you can to help. Be an activist. Go feed the homeless on the weekend. Start a podcast. Find a way you can help with your community. Encourage people to do better, do more, be more giving. Go to church. I don't know what the answer is for you, but everybody needs to find some way to deal with our demons in life. And when stuff like this happens, I try to stay as busy as I can because I don't want to think about it. It's hard, and you just have to give it up to God. And all of you that are Christians, you know what I'm talking about. But we'll get on with the next video, folks. I just wanted to just rattle on a little bit to you about why the name calling is so specific. Necessary evil, unnecessary evil, I think is how the term goes. Now, Kash Patel was in the House today, or should I say in the Senate today, and he was talking to Josh Hawley, he was talking to Adam Sleazebag Schiff, and Dick Durbin, and several other ones, back and forth between Republican and Democrat, Republican and Democrat. You know how it goes. They get like 5 minutes to either ask them good questions or to just play their charade game. Well, today, Kash Patel lit Adam Schiff up pretty good. A little bit of name calling going on, a little bit of arguing back and forth. Now that I will bring to y'all today. It says FBI Director Kash Patel confirms there are a lot more than 20 people in the Tyler Robinson Discord chat, and all under the FBI's investigation. So we'll get into this one first. I got a couple clips here for you of Kash Patel. But this is the one where Kash Patel is talking about the investigation of the Antifa, furry, trans, whatever community they got going on the internet over there with the bullet logos on their web pages that they deleted 2 days ago. Yeah, those people, Salt Lake City Trantifa needs to be checked out. Definitely.
The FBI investigating the Kirk assassination as part of this broader pattern of anti-religious, anti-Christian violence.
We are investigating Charlie's assassination fully and completely, and running out every lead related to any allegation of broader violence, and we're producing results on that we'll disclose when appropriate.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Let me just ask you a few questions about that, if I could. Sure. Reports have suggested that the FBI is investigating a broader network of groups that may have had some knowledge of the shooter's plans. Can you give us any details on that, following up what you already said in public? How's the FBI working to find other potential accomplices, folks who may have known about the shooter's plans, folks who may have encouraged him? Any update on any of that?
So in terms of what we do for an interrogation perspective, we go and reach out to the family and community immediately. And we've conducted those investigations and interrogations with local law enforcement, and we're continuing to do that because those closest to the suspect are going to hopefully know the most about the suspect and his beliefs and his ideology. On top of that, unfortunately, it has been leaked that there was a Discord chat, and for those unfamiliar with it, it's a gaming chat room online that the suspect participated in. So what we're doing, we've already done, is sort of legal process, not just on Discord, so that the information we gathered is sustained and held in a evidentiary posture that we could use in prosecution should it be decided to do so. And we're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
Okay, very good. I see the public reports that the Discord thread had as many as 20 additional users. It sounds like you're trying to run down all of that to see if that's accurate, who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that, and we're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
And you're running all of that to ground?
Every single one.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me just turn to the broader question here of anti.
That's what I wanted to hear. There's more than 20 people that are now suspects in this. They're going to get a good looking over, find out how much criminal activity these people have actually been affiliated with. Maybe they need to run them all through the NCIC and see how many of them have been active in protest and riots and things in the past. I guarantee you, you bust up a Trantifa house, you're going to find some people in there that got some criminal backgrounds. That's what I have to believe, folks. It's going to be easy pickings once they actually do the legwork of finding out how to go track all these people down. And there's going to be a lot of other people that are probably indirectly related because they shot out a text or something from a different platform, because not everybody uses the same platform. Not everybody that was on Discord listening to this guy or also probably on other platforms spouting about it. So I'm sure when they look in every direction on all these people, they'll find much, much more to dig into. Now here we go. We got Adam Slimy Schiff trying to catch Kash Patel in a question for clicks, so he can get his little donations or whatever. But, Kash Patel and Adam Schiff are pretty much arch enemies at this point. I would really love to see Kash Patel have Pam Bondi, have somebody go arrest Adam Schiff for the crimes that we prove he's done before it's all said and done. Adam Schiff's a sleazebag. He lied on Trump for 7 to 8 years. He's come after Kash Patel. He's defamed everybody in the country that's a conservative, that if he had an opportunity to, every Sunday on CNN, if not twice a week on MSDNC. All right, let's get into sleazebag arguing with
the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of inmates. What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
I kind of enjoyed that, folks. I can't help it. Get him, Kash. Get him. He's a buffoon. He called him out. You're a liar. You're a buffoon. You have no sense of credibility about you. Not a word coming out of your mouth is the truth. We all know it. Now, this guy here, Tim Burchett, is one of my favorite people to listen to. He's kind of like Senator Kennedy, but he votes a little better. But he's great with euphemisms and storytelling and things, so I like to listen to him no matter whose channel he's on. I listen to him on The Benny Show and several other channels. that have him on. But CNN had Tim Burchett on today. He wasn't having it.
Kate?
And let's talk about that. Joining us right now is Republican Congressman from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. Congressman, thanks for being here. What additional security measures do you think are needed for lawmakers right now?
I think we need a lot of them, man. We've been asking them for years, and I'm afraid this is what we're going to see happening. You know, I asked, after those Jewish folks were assassinated in Washington a few weeks back, I asked our speaker to provide extra protection for our Jewish members, knowing that they would be targets, and in fact, they are. You know, my dear friend Jared Moskowitz, we don't agree on anything except that we love our country and we love our families, and we'd like to protect both of those. And he and I both agreed that we need to do a lot more, and we're having to do a lot more, especially at home. Unfortunately, with leadership as it's been since I've been in Congress under Democrats and Republicans, you know, they're in a little protective bubble. They've got their own security detail. They've got you know, the Suburbans. They've got the armed guards all around them at all times, and we don't. And it's very difficult for them to do something about this for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think it's spending the money and then going back and having to explain to the public that we're spending more money to defend ourselves when in fact we're $36 trillion in debt. But I'm afraid what's going to happen, ma'am, we're going to close the barn door after the cows get out. Somebody's going to get killed on Capitol Hill or in or around that or around our homes. And it's going to be too late then, and then it'll be Katie bar the door.
Do you think leadership doesn't get it? Doesn't get that?
He's right.
I have a hard time thinking they do, ma'am. How much more studying do we need? Do we need more studying? You know, I walk out of my office every day, and I probably shouldn't say this, but Longworth Building, every day when they ring the bell to go vote, and there'll be guards out there sometime, Capitol Police, and sometimes they're not. And then you go in the building and there's 5 or 6 of them gathered around talking. And that's not those officers' fault, it's leadership's fault. And it's our leadership that directs them. So at some point, somebody's going to have to get the message before somebody gets hurt. And I've warned them time and time again. And what happens generally, ma'am, something like this happens, we will pour on the security. You'll see them, you know, checking cars, checking people, checking folks coming in the building, and then it lacks off. That's the problem. That's where the gaps are. And we've got to be vigilant 24/7, and unfortunately we're not.
Another aspect of what we were hearing from Speaker Johnson is calling on everyone to turn down the rhetoric, that every policy, the way he put it was every policy dispute shouldn't be treated as an existential threat to democracy. Utah's governor, Spencer Cox, has been another leading voice, especially in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's murder, in calling for people to tone it down. I want to play for you what he told my colleague, Dana.
But if we're waiting for a president or a governor to get us out of this dark chapter, then it will never happen. We can't. I don't understand this. Again, giving our agency up, waking up every day and saying, well, what did the president say today? That's going to determine how I react. Or what does the governor say today? That makes no sense to me. Every one of us has to look in the mirror and decide, are we going to try to make it better, or are we going to make it worse?
I'm asking this of every leader that comes on. How are you going to go about doing that? What do you tell a constituent who is looking to you for leadership on this?
Well, I have a history of bipartisanship, as I mentioned earlier. My friend Jared Moskowitz and I are very close. We talk every day. We talk on the floor. We talk about what's going on. But, you know, ma'am, the reality is that's not going to happen. Let's just be honest. It doesn't get you elected. It doesn't back home. It's the red meat that gets you elected, pointing the finger, and the Democrats currently and the national media, frankly, points at Trump. I was there reading the news releases, and it was just some vile vitriol stuff, even directed towards Charlie Kirk. And, you know, it's never going to change, ma'am, until we have a real revival in this country. And that hopefully would happen someday. But right now it looks like it's going to be more of the same. It's clickbait. It's getting reelected. It's red meat. And that's what politics is about today. And that's
That's the part of the video I really wanted to bring you. I didn't know where it was at in the clip. I watched the whole thing and forgot where it was at. But he's right. This is not going to go away in a hurry. We're not going to forget about Charlie Kirk. and we're definitely going to have to keep our head on a swivel, more than we ever have. And God, I hope everybody stays safe to the best of their ability, because it's a dangerous world out there to be a politician, to be a podcaster, to be somebody out there making a difference. First time you offend one of these crazy people, they want to silence you by any means necessary, and it starts with calling you names. Yeah, systematic destruction, folks. That's what's really going on. And it's of the devil. These people aren't normal. But I don't want to cater to it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to promote it. I think Greg Gutfeld, if y'all haven't seen this clip, this was actually a really great clip of Gutfeld just telling Jessica Tarlov, don't give me that shit, Jessica. Really great clip. If you've already seen it, watch it again. It's worth the watch. Greg Gutfeld just says, we ain't having it no more, and I think he was actually accurate as hell on this one. This video clip went super viral. Alright, here we go. This is a good one. A little bit long, but it's a good one.
Yes. We don't need it. What is interesting here is, why is only this happening on the left and not the right? That's all we need to know. There's absolutely no cognitive...
What about Melissa Hortman that we just talked about?
You want to talk about Melissa Hortman? Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is, there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person. So don't use your what about this. The fact of the matter is, the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead. For one thing, there is no cognitive dissonance on our side. On your side, your beliefs do not match reality, so you're coming up with these rationalizations like, what about this or what about that? We're not doing that because we saw it happen. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it. We are not coming up with rationalizations. We are calm, we are honest, and we are resolute. We're not defensive, and I understand the defensiveness. I understand why people are saying, what about this and what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying fact to this, your life is gonna fall apart, because you're gonna realize you're not the good guy.
If you're still with me, folks, stick around. We have a breaking story out of Texas. We'll bring it to you after this clip.
Guys, if you sat around and you defended the mutilation of children, you're not the good guys. If you sat 600, 700 cases of harassment against Republicans, and you said, but what about this? What about this? And then you see this murder after calling somebody a fascist, you realize, maybe I'm not the good guy. That is a hell of a realization to deal with. So therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. You don't have to do that, Jessica. They do. I don't believe you're part of that group, but why the hell do you have to mimic and echo that crap to us? He was a patsy. That guy was a patsy. He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that. If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me.
I just want to be clear, and I want to let people speak. I in no way intended at all to minimize what happened to Charlie. I was horrified by it. I have not been on the five
but
since
the two
then,
sides argument, well, it's like pig Latin to a duck.
No. All that I was saying is could we have all of the information before you just say they did this? Because that is a broad brush to paint with this. And this kid
Let's have a conversation.
No.
Charlie had a conversation. He got shot.
Look,
I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't here for a week. You came in here and it's cold. And I'm sorry, but this is a story that is immune to news cycles. It's immune to rationalizations. It's immune to bias. This thing is with us for good. And we all have to deal with that. So that means we can't live by the same arguments that you might be reading about relativism among the media. We can't deal with those stories. It doesn't matter. The media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That shit's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the show.
I've seen it twice now, and it was just as good the second time. Dang. Got a story out of Texas here. Governor Abbott has weighed in. It says over 100 radical leftists, we believe it's up to 180 now, over 100 radical leftist teachers in Texas will have their certificates suspended and face permanent ban from public schools after celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination and calling for more violence. These teachers are wokies, obviously. I bet there's going to be a lot more, but Governor Abbott putting some tweets out today. Says more than 100 Texas educators are now facing the end of their teaching careers after posting vile, hateful, and violent content celebrating the assassination of conservative leader Charlie Kirk. Governor Greg Abbott announced on Sunday that the Texas Education Agency has begun investigating into teachers who cheered Kirk's murder and even incited additional violence online. Abbott confirmed that these educators will not only have their teacher certification suspended, but will also be permanently banned from working in Texas public schools. They're going to have to go find them a woke state to work in. I guess that's the way that works. It says in a strongly worded letter to Superintendent's TEA Commissioner Mike Morath condemned the educators' despicable behavior, noting that such conduct may constitute violations of educators' code of ethics. He confirmed that all documented cases have been referred to TEA Educators Investigation Division. So the TEA hopefully is not full of a bunch of woke people to do the scrutinization. It's an investigative agency, TEA investigative agency. I'm guessing they're going to actually get in there and look at these people's situation and say, "You're fired. You're fired. You're fired." Yep, Governor Abbott says Texas Education Agency is investigating teachers and staff who have posted and or shared reprehensible and inappropriate content on social media about the assassination of Charlie. Good deal. I'm glad to see that happen. Now I will report on stuff like that, folks. I do not mind justice, and these people do need to be fired. Just my opinion, but I think they need to be fired. And hopefully that you're of the same opinion. If not, I understand as well. Some people are more forgiving than others. I'm not that forgiving. I'm sorry. I just not in a situation like this. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below without getting too graphic for YouTube's algorithm. What you think about if this guy is found guilty, not if, when this guy is found guilty. Is the firing squad approved? Give me a thumbs up, yes. And if you don't think firing squad is a good answer, if they when they convict this guy of this charge, then let me know why in the comment section down below. I'd like to hear both sides of the whole situation. That's what I got for you today, folks. Folks, I hope everybody enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Over and out.